You don't charge any placement fee here whatsoever.
Okay.
Yeah, it says that right on the website. There's no placement fee.
Yeah, but there's a membership fee. What's the difference like between the membership fee and what that gets you and the placement?
160 Hong Kong dollars will be given on the Christmas party at Disneyland at the end of the year.
Yeah.
So that itself is quite expensive.
You said you've got 200,000 potentially going there though.
No. There's about 25,000 ladies per day we can do. That's the max. If we can do them on Saturday, okay, but right now we're trying to schedule for Sundays.
Yeah.
Sundays only.
Did you book it for those key dates already?
No, I'm confirming that this coming week with Disneyland. Because we got to schedule how many is coming at a certain time, how many we can get in to the park, and how many we can get into the restaurants. Everything has to be simultaneously perfect.
And you act as, you're an agent? Employment agent or?
Here?
Yeah, in Hong Kong.
We're licensed as a manpower agency, yes.
Right.
Yeah, our license is 44723.
Right.
Then my partner here, she's Hong Kong citizen.
Yeah.
Miranda So.
All right.
So the manpower license she had applied for herself.
I saw it's legit, yeah. Did you have, how many ladies have you sent over so far?
On our website, it's very clearly stated that we don't work with the U.S. government. We cannot guarantee any employment visa.
Yeah.
How many ladies in the past has gone, say from India or the Philippines as nurses? There has been many to go. Yeah. But for that process, that is up to the American Embassy to issue them the visas.
So you're saying there hasn't actually been, through your agency, any who've arrived in Las Vegas yet because of the length of time?
Oh no, we just started that project.
Yeah.
Just about a couple months ago.
Is membership or any of the fees refundable if they don't get a place?
Well, the 160 Hong Kong dollars that they pay each month, they got internet access. They come to our weekend parties. Yeah. So basically, we spend. There's no profit in that whatsoever. Right. Anytime that we see that we're making a little money, I try to spend it back on them. Because I'm not here for a profit. I'm here to offer a good service to the...
How are you funding yourself then if this isn't yet fruitful and just your life in Hong Kong?
Well, I've got a friend in Beverly Hills that's worth $60 million.
All right.
He's 96 years old. I've known him since 1971.
And just about your identity, is Steve Austin Conway your original name? Is it your real name?
That is my name, my business name.
All right.
I've had since 1977.
Why
I used to work with the Lawrence Welk Show, booking singers on the show. I grew up stuttering my words, so I could not say my real name properly.
But could you tell us more about Earl Bagley?
Oh, so you know my other name?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why did you change it though?
Why? Because in 1970, when I started the limousine business in Los Angeles, I used that name.
Right. Are there any outstanding charges against you with the US government?
No.
State Department?
No.
Have you any comment on your extradition from the Philippines last year?
Sure. We'll tell you that. What happened on that, they sent me back to the U.S. on a stupid case, and they were trying to say that my girlfriend Bambi was only 15. We produced in court that her birth certificate is 21. She was born in 1992. So years ago, in April 2002, that I was at my office in Beverly Hills. My friend came there and we was watching on the TV about a missing girl in San Diego. Yeah. Since he was a private investigator, he wanted to use my computer, which I said no problem. So he checked on child porn website, which I didn't even know those type of sites existed. So when that took place, he downloaded 6 images on my computer and printed it out and went down to San Diego and helped the FBI on that matter.
So,
Well, years later, when I was coming across the border from Canada, they searched my computer and found 2 things. One was pictures of Osama bin Laden dead,
yeah.
because he died on November 7, 2003. I was going to take those photos to the media. And then they found those 6 images of the child porn. So then I was detained.
Did you know they were on there?
I did not. But the computer was mine.
So I don't understand. So there were 2 charges: the Filipino girlfriend issue,
Now, the Filipino,
and that was separate to the computer issue.
Right.
So what was the extradition? Was it for one of those?
From the Philippines?
Yeah, last year.
That was based on, they said I was failure to register. Well, the fact remains is that I didn't have to register because I was outside and I had informed them that I'm outside the U.S.
Is this sex offenders register?
Right, exactly.
How often are you meant to sign on to that?
Once a year if I'm in the U.S. If I'm not in the U.S., then there's no requirement on that.
How did they extradite you then if you're not required to when you're abroad?
This guy named Alan, what's his last name? Alan, he's a U.S. Marshal that don't like me. And he filed a case in court, got me back there, and the judge saw the birth certificate of Bambi being born in 1992, not that she was 15.
Yeah.
So that got resolved. Here to misleaders, domestic helpers, and let them come to see me and don't pay, and they still come back, and I still offer the information to them. And then they come back to me and say, well, we paid $32,000 to an agent, she did this for no candidate. And then I try to help them get the money back. So, and I don't charge them for that either. It was Mother Teresa who asked me when I met her in August of 1990 in Los Angeles when I helped raise money to build orphanages. She asked me to get out of my limousine business and come to India to help the nurses. And I said, Mother Teresa, I know nothing about the immigration business. And she says, you shall learn.
When you get membership and you join, do you have to get other people to sign up?
No, they don't have to. No, it's not required that they do. No. If they want to, okay. But it's what they feel that they can do. Yeah. And I contacted actually several ladies this past week that hasn't come the last couple of months. I paid 3 months ago to offer their 160 back because they never signed the contract. And I say, look, you please come back. We got the 160 for you. You please come and collect it. But they don't show up. They don't call me. They don't show up.
Do you know what the acceptance rate is roughly for the US?
Acceptance?
Yeah, how many actually? How many of the authorities? What percentage they accept to go and work in the US?
Well, here's how it goes, sir. Is that if the Department of Labor certifies a labor certification, I tell the ladies it doesn't guarantee their employment. Each one is an individual. As long as you're going through the whole legal process, I would say the chances would be really good for them, the job, without a problem. But it's still up to the visa officer at the American Embassy in their country to issue the visa or not. And that's exactly what we put on our website. We don't say, hey, we work with the U.S. government, we can guarantee this and that. No, absolutely not. Right now, the domestic and the hotel maids are getting paid right around $12 US an hour. So in 4 years from now, it could be as much as $14 an hour. Then, once they're there, I help them with housing in Park Avenue, the Orland Park Avenue, or Miller Park Way, rather, and Flamingo Road. And that area is a Filipino community.
But I understand you pick them up by limousine, right? So how does it add up for you as the agency financially?
They stay in the Beverly Hills Hotel.
Beverly Hotel.
Yeah, so they stay there.
Well, when they go there, all the expenses that has occurred, they have to pay back plus whatever the bank rate interest is at that time. And they don't sign any loan contract here whatsoever. They don't sign until they're there. They're working there for 2 months. They're satisfied with the job, and then in their file would be all the expenses we had spent for the 4-year processing. Because we have to give them $2,000 US for their flight, for the medical examination, all of that before they even leave Hong Kong.
And that's taken out of their salary over a period, or is it
taken out? They just come to the office.
They pay themselves
and pay.
But just to be clear, you haven't managed to place anyone yet because it's in its infancy.
Not as a hotel maid yet. And the reason that a lot of them come to me and say, "Can you help us as domestic helpers?" I say no, because even in the U.S. it's the same as it is in Hong Kong. They're going to be treated and work like slaves, long hours. That's why I'm trying to help them to work as hotel maids, where they work only 8 hours, and if they want to work more hours, then they get paid for more hours.
Okay.
I just find it interesting, the fact that you're only charging the domestic workers this little amount of money, but you're providing this much services. You're providing flights to US, flights to the hometown for the...
It seems you'd make a loss.
Yeah, it seems you make a loss. Why do you want this business?
Well, I'm losing perhaps right now, or the way I look at it, that we're investing into their future. And there has been a few nurses in the past from India, from North India, that actually had gone to America. They're supposed to pay me back. They got married to an Indian fellow there and took out and pay us. So it's a gamble, yes. But those who benefit by it and do pay, and they're happy with their job, then I feel good about what I'm doing. I don't look about how much I can make, I look about what service I can offer in a very genuine way. So they're there, sir, and after they're working for 2 months, they're satisfied with their job, and then they see all the expenses that we spend on them in their file. And then I check with the bank as to the rate what we have, what it will cost us. And then they pay each month according to that.
I see. Approximately how much will that be?
It's just hard to say, whatever it costs us.
Is that stated on the contract? That they have to pay you back over a period of time? Is that, or is that just a
there's no loan contract here. There's no loan contract. They sign nothing about any type of loan here. Only once they're satisfied with all expenses occurred, then they sign. If they're not satisfied, they don't like their job, they have a round-trip ticket that they fly back to the country, they pay no money.
But then how can you ensure that they will pay you back the amount of money because you're not asking them to sign a contract with you?
Yeah, but sometimes you gotta trust people, you gotta take them for their word. Some people will cheat with you, some people will be honest. It's just a gamble, but you see, if I'm not here to help these people, they have nobody else.
You say the business isn't viable, profitable at the moment, and you're hoping to grow yourself. How many would you need membership for it to become profitable for yourself and for the business to get to break even?
Break even. That is a very good question.
Tens, hundreds, thousands, or?
Well, no. To break even, I never really calculated that. that's never been my concern on looking at the profits. I'm looking at what I should do next by going back to Las Vegas the next few weeks and start processing that little bit of few applications we've got and get those going, and then we'll see where we're at.
The other thing which stuck out was the raffle, the prizes compared to the ticket cost. You have to sell many tens of thousands to just meet the cash prize.
The raffles, we're not starting yet until I check on the government what's required by law here
Yeah.
before we start that.